What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Sunday, October 6th, 2024, and I have an emergency update to share with you guys. Right now, it is 01:10 Eastern Time here in the United States, and I wanted to update you guys on the situation in the Middle East. So, it does appear that this Israeli attack on Iran is imminent. Could be any hour now. And I was listening to some former generals on mainstream media, including Trump's former defense secretary, Mark Esper, and he was saying that Israel could go after the Ayatollah Khamenei, the nuclear sites, the ballistic missile launch sites, and storage facilities, and that they can also go after oil facilities and energy. So most of these retired generals and defense secretaries are saying that Israel is going to go big and go for the regime and for the nuclear sites. Now the question is, if Israel does that, what's the outcome? Is Russia going to get involved? What's going to happen? Or are we going to have a free Iran finally and no more Iranian nuclear weapons? Wouldn't that be amazing? One less thing to worry about. Okay, we already have North Korea, we have China, we have Putin, we have the Ukraine situation. Wouldn't it be amazing if Israel just annihilated all the Iranian nuclear facilities and took out the leadership? And maybe for a couple of years it would be kind of normal there. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? So please pray for Israel. Please pray for the Middle East for peace and that God protects the Israeli people, which he always does. But the Israeli Broadcasting Corporation is reporting that the Israeli government has decided to launch a strong and major attack on Iran. Okay, so another Israeli media outlet, the Israeli Broadcasting Corporation, reporting that the Israeli government has decided to launch a major attack on Iran. Okay, this isn't going to be like last time. Okay, a symbolic strike on some air defenses. That's not going to be the case this time. I think this is it. Okay, Israel has already taken out Hamas. They've taken out Hezbollah. The only thing left is the leadership in Iran, okay, the Ayatollah Khamenei, and Israel does have the capability to annihilate the Ayatollah, okay, and annihilate the Iranian leadership. They have bunker busters, they have stealth fighters, they have the best intelligence in the world, okay. Look at how Israel was able to take out the head of Hamas, the head of Hezbollah, and then literally 2 days after they replaced the head of Hezbollah with another guy, they took him out too. And then they took out the leader of the IRGC Quds Force. I mean, Israel just has amazing intelligence. I'm sure they know where the Ayatollah Khamenei is hiding out at, and they can drop a bunker buster right on top of them if necessary. So a lot of people in Israel are pushing for this. Israeli society wants it. Okay, Israel is viewing this as a threat to their survival, guys. Okay, imagine if Canada was building nuclear weapons, okay, and the Canadian government was testing them and saying that, you know, we're going to have nukes within a couple of years. Wouldn't you feel a little bit insecure? Wouldn't you want our government to destroy those weapons and take them out, especially if the leadership was crazy like in Iran? Okay, imagine if, you know, the leader of Canada was some crazy nationalist that wanted Canada to take over the United States, okay, and he was saying he was going to build nuclear weapons, and by the way, he launched a few hundred missiles at us already. I mean, wouldn't you want our government to take that person out and take out those nukes? So that's how Israelis feel. And this is not a new issue, okay? They've been dealing with this for many, many, many years, okay? Since the Obama administration, Iran has been talking about getting nukes, okay? And Netanyahu is not going to rest until he denuclearizes Iran and de-Ayatollahizes Iran. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply is doing a discount on their 1 month emergency food supply. And to get the deal, you got to go to preparewithnyprepper.com, and the link is in the description below this video. This is a 1 month freeze dried food supply. It has a 25-year shelf life. Normal price is $237. They've dropped it down to $177. So that's a savings of $60. And it's all packed within 2 rugged, water resistant buckets. Free shipping is included. $177 for 1 month of food. Where are you going to find a deal like that? So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get $60 off the My Patriot Supply 1 month emergency food supply. That's $180 for 1 month of food, free shipping included. The link is in the description below this video. And the New York Times reports that Iran's military has been placed on the highest level of alert, and locals in western Iran are reporting hearing fighter jets patrolling the skies. So it looks like Iran has scrambled their fighter jets to patrol their western skies to possibly shoot down any incoming Israeli fighter jets or cruise missiles. There were some massive Israeli airstrikes in southern Beirut tonight. The Israeli Defense Force announced that the following information received from the Military Intelligence Directorate: a series of precision strikes were carried out last night against Hezbollah weapons storage facilities, as well as other military infrastructure targets in the southern suburbs of Beirut. And the Washington Post reports that Israel's Mossad, okay, that's their intelligence agency, knew the whereabouts of Nasrallah for years and tracked his movements closely, but held off eliminating him due to concern it would lead to all-out war with the militia group and perhaps with Iran as well. So there you have it, guys. Mossad knows the whereabouts of all these leaders, okay? And the Washington Post is also reporting that Israel booby-trapped Hezbollah walkie-talkies 9 years ago and contended themselves with eavesdropping for that period while reserving the option to turn them into bombs. Okay, so 9 years ago they booby-trapped these walkie-talkies and they were monitoring Nasrallah's whereabouts for years, okay? So they definitely know where the Ayatollah is located at in Iran, and they can take him out if necessary. I want to remind you guys that the U.S. government has warned non-governmental organizations in Jordan that a strike on Iran is imminent and that Jordan could be targeted by Iran. And so several NGOs have issued safety advisories to their employees in Jordan, citing U.S. sources warning of possible missile activity in the next hours. The advisory, which cites U.S. sources, states that an attack may occur by Israel in an immediate time frame on Iran. The possibility of ballistic missile fire from Iran in the next few hours is possible, the memo also read, warning of an immediate Iranian response to any Israeli military action. Staying in range of protected spaces nationwide is recommended, as actual warning will be under 15 minutes if it occurs, okay? So this is very, very serious, guys, very serious. And also tonight, we had some strange activity on the Russian nuclear war frequency known as the Russian buzzer. So let me play this for you. You can hear what sounds like data being transmitted, encrypted data, and you'll hear like this buzzing tone. That's actually normal, okay? That signals to operators that the line is open, but you can also hear what sounds like data being transmitted in the background. This is a frequency used by Russia's strategic forces, their nuclear forces, to communicate launch codes for nuclear weapons, and there's this constant buzzing tone every second that signals that the line is open. That's normal, okay? That's always like that. That's why it's called a buzzer. But this strange background noise could be some data that the Russian military is transmitting, which is not a good sign. So you can hear like that steady buzzing noise, and then you can hear the intermittent buzzing noise. Okay, that steady buzzing noise is not always there. Some kind of encrypted data is being transmitted on one of Russia's primary nuclear war frequencies, which is very serious. And I want to remind you guys that Israel did strike a Russian airbase in Syria a few nights ago, the Khmamim airbase. Israel struck a Syrian/Russian weapons depot that was being used to arm Hezbollah. Okay, Russia afterwards told their citizens to leave Israel immediately. Okay, so could this be the hook in the jaw of Vladimir Putin, just like the Bible talks about in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38 and 39, where God will put hooks in the jaws of Gog? Gog is the leader of Russia, the land of Magog, and God draws Gog down into the Middle East so he can be destroyed. So it seems like God is using Israel to provoke Putin so he responds and gets involved and tries to attack Israel, which is the biggest mistake you can ever make, is to attack Israel. Israel is under the protection of God, and nobody will ever be able to take over Israel or to annihilate the Jewish people. It's never going to happen, okay? But could this be one of the hooks in the jaws to bring Putin down to the Middle East, okay? Striking that weapons depot on the territory of a Russian base in Syria. Very, very provocative move by Israel. And Naftali Bennett, the former prime minister of Israel, is calling for strikes on Iran's nuclear program. He posted this very lengthy tweet on Twitter just a few hours ago at 8:37 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's 20:37 Eastern Time. Let me read to you what he says here. Proportionality. President Biden has said that Israel can retaliate against Iran, but must keep the response proportionate. The president also urged Israel not to attack Iran's nuclear program. Let's see what proportionate would mean, and also what's going on with the nuclear program. Proportionality. Iran has been terrorizing Israelis for over 30 years. It sent its terror octopus tentacles, Hamas, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, and more to surround and attack Israel. Iran's regime funded, trained, and armed these savage terrorists. Hamas and Islamic Jihad, Iran's Gaza tentacles, murdered, burnt, raped, injured, and kidnapped thousands of innocent Israelis. Hezbollah, Iran's Lebanese tentacle, shot 10,000 rockets to northern Israel, murdering dozens of Israelis, including children playing soccer. A few days ago, Iran directly shot 190 ballistic missiles to Israel, including city centers such as Tel Aviv. In April, Iran lobbed some 350 projectiles towards Israel. Without Israel's remarkable technologies, these missiles could have killed thousands of innocent people. So what would be a proportionate response? For Israel to murder, rape, and burn thousands of innocent Iranians? We don't do that. For Israel to shoot 10,000 rockets indiscriminately on Iranian cities? We don't do that either. Therefore, Israel can do much less than what Iran's regime did to us. Israel must attack Iran's nuclear program and attack Iran's leadership and hit and cripple the regime's main economic interests, energy, etc. All of these would be only a fraction of what Iran did to Israel, so indeed it won't be proportional. It'll be much less. The goal should be to ultimately bring down the brutal, corrupt, and incompetent regime of the Islamic Republic of Iran before it acquires nuclear weapons. This will take some time, but this week's response must start this process. Iran's nuclear program. If we don't take out the nuclear program now, I don't know we'll ever do it. The Mullah regime has acquired SQ-10, which means enough high-grade uranium to produce 10 nuclear bombs. The regime is racing towards producing the detonator device itself, while the world can no longer really track this. In other words, we might wake up to a test bomb exploding in Iran's desert. At that moment, the Middle East will become a nuclear nightmare. We have the justification and the ability. It's time to act now. So very strong words here from Naftali Bennett. Israel must attack Iran's nuclear program and attack Iran's leadership and hit and cripple the regime's main economic interests. And I want to update you guys on this new hurricane that's setting its sights on Florida. This is Hurricane Milton. It's expected to turn into a major hurricane, and what you're looking at here is one of the latest model runs showing a hurricane with 145 mile per hour sustained winds, which is a Category 4 hurricane, slamming right into the Tampa Bay area in just a few days. So this is very concerning. It looks like around Tuesday or Wednesday, we're going to see a landfall near Tampa. The question is, how strong is this hurricane going to be? I'm sure the storm surges are going to be massive. And here we have the latest satellite loop, and you can see here off the coast of Mexico near the Yucatan Peninsula in the Bay of Campeche, there's this swirling thing over here. Okay, that's the hurricane, and it's supposed to rapidly intensify into a Category 4, maybe even a Category 5. Here's the forecast cone, and you can see a direct hit on the Tampa Bay area, 7 p.m. Wednesday night. And I want to remind you guys that we have a geomagnetic storm watch until tonight. So be on the lookout for low latitude auroras. There could be some interference with radio systems and communications. I've noticed issues with my internet and also my cell phone, believe it or not. I've noticed I've had difficulties sending out text messages, and in areas where I have full signal, I was having very weak signal. So just know that if you're having issues with your cell reception, it could be related to this solar flare. And Trump returned to Butler, Pennsylvania, where he survived an assassination attempt just 3 months ago and held a campaign rally yesterday. He was standing behind bulletproof glass. Here you can see the bulletproof glass. And he said, "I will never quit. I will never bend. I will never break. I will never yield, not even in the face of death itself." Wow. Okay. But that's the latest breaking news that I have. I'm going to be monitoring the situation in the Middle East like a hawk. When things pop off, I will be going live and covering the situation live. You should follow me on Telegram, and you should follow me on Twitter, because sometimes YouTube doesn't send out notifications. Also, there's a maximum of 3 notifications per 24 hours. So if I upload more than 3 videos, or if I go live or upload videos more than 3 times in 24 hours, they're not going to notify you. So I'm going to post everything to Twitter and Telegram. Okay, I always do, so follow me there. The links to my Telegram and Twitter are in the description below this video. I also have my 24/7 stream live right now. You can go in there and hang out and exchange information with people. I have my home-based radio piped into the live stream with a 400-foot antenna, so you can listen to strategic forces worldwide with 100% reliability, and that will work even in the middle of SHTF. But I will be back tomorrow, or actually later today, with more breaking news. So until next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.